Welcome back everyone to Most Amazing Top 10. Election Day is almost here for the United States of America. November 8th, remember that day. There has rarely been a more polarizing campaign in the whole country's history than this one. Some people say that if Donald Trump beats Hillary Clinton on that day, he won't just be a pretty bad president, he may just be the very worst. To hear some of the arguments for that case, here are the top 10 reasons Donald Trump would be the worst president ever. Before we get into this video, I just want to quickly shout out a channel right up here that we support called Question Time. It's run by a good friend Matt, who does a very good job at making politics interesting and easy to digest for everyone on YouTube, so check that channel out right up there after this video, because right now we're jumping into our number 10 reason, and it's Donald Trump's financial plan. At best it's incoherent, and at worst it's ineffective. Trump plans to lower taxes, mainly for the rich and wealthy. His budget and tax plan, if implemented, will add about $2 trillion to the national debt, about 10 times more debt than Hillary Clinton's plan. Now hers might not be perfect, but Trump's plan of economic isolation, tax cuts for the rich, and deficit creation have left even Republican economic analysis scratching their heads. They don't even understand it. It's quite funny that a man who has gone bankrupt 4 times and whose economic plan doesn't even make sense to experts has garnered the support of people based on his so-called financial credentials. Strange. Number 9. He has zero political experience. In 2004, Hillary Clinton was the United States Senator from New York before going on to become the nation's Secretary of State. In 2004, Obama was making the transition from spending 7 years as a member of the Illinois Senate to becoming the United States Senator from Illinois. In 2004, Bernie Sanders was in the middle of his 16-year-long membership of the US House of Representatives. Jeb Bush was the governor of Florida, Ted Cruz was Solicitor General of Texas, Rick Santorum was United States Senator from Pennsylvania, and in 2004, that very same year, Donald Trump had just started his reality show, The Apprentice.
You're fired. You're fired. You're fired.
Yeah, in the years since then, all the others, Republican or Democrat, gained even more experience in politics. Donald Trump got busy with claiming Obama wasn't American. At number 8, he is trigger happy. Donald Trump is one of the most notoriously sensitive people over the age of 10. If he's not suing people for saying mean things about him, he's getting into strange, bizarre Twitter wars with celebrities. For those involved in national defense, having such an impulsive, easily offended and trigger-happy president is a very worrying thought indeed. In America, the president is also the commander-in-chief, as the head of the military and the one with their fingers on the nuclear arsenal. At times, it feels like his empty threats might not be just so empty with a presidential seal behind them. Thankfully, Congress will most likely block any of his craziest impulses, but that's not a reason to vote for him. Coming in at number 7, he's mocked disabled people. Yes. During a speech in 2015, Donald Trump did an impression of Serge Kovaleski, a disabled reporter who suffers from arthrogyroposis. And this leaves him with contorted arms. Now this is Trump's impression of him.
I don't know what I said. I don't remember.
Yep, that wasn't from 1915, that was from 2015. So after alienating all disabled people, and also all decent people, you'd expect an apology, right? Of course. Well, no. Trump said he was actually doing an impression of him groveling, and that he didn't even know who this guy was, which was a lie. They did know each other on a first name basis. I wonder how the 50 million disabled Americans will feel about that hilarious impression from their potential president. Number 6, Donald Trump thinks that global warming is a hoax created by and for the Chinese in order to make US manufacturing non-competitive. I am not making up or twisting his words either. Those are his exact words from a 2012 tweet. On the one hand, you have overwhelming evidence collected by scientists who have spent decades studying global warming and unanimously agree that it exists. And on the other hand, you have Trump, who says the Chinese have made it all up. So he's claimed it's a hoax, and one invented by China many times since then, all the way up to this year, 2016, where he is now running for president. Number 5, he is a misogynist. Trump has a long history of derogatory comments about women. In the 90s, he said, "It doesn't matter what people say about you as long as you've got a young, beautiful piece of referring to a woman. He said that the only woman a man should marry are always out to get their money. Since then, he's openly called women who criticize or upset him disgusting, ugly, bimbos, fat, Miss Piggy, and dogs. He once told a lawyer that she was disgusting for wanting to breastfeed her 3-month-old baby. He blames sex assaults in the army on cohibition, not on the actual sex offenders. He wants to stop the 100-year-old Planned Parenthood, seen as a huge step forward in women's reproductive rights. And in case you were in any doubt that Donald Trump sees women as just male accessories to be objectified, demeaned, stripped of their rights, and fall in line with his views, a video emerged of him recently telling a TV host that when you're a star, like him, you can grab a woman by the At number 4 now, he's racially divisive. He's called Mexicans rapists and claimed that judges and jurists of Mexican descent are incapable of ruling independently. He's made fear-mongering claims that all Muslims should be banned from entering the US and the ones already in the country should be monitored, and that thousands of them in New Jersey cheered on 9/11, even though there's no evidence to back that up. His persistent 1950s style references to the blacks, or his hesitance to denounce the KKK support of him, hasn't done much to soothe people's worries. And at number 3, he is clueless on national and international security. Unlike every single other candidate for the presidency since the very first Gulf War, Trump has not outlined his strategy for the Middle East, and specifically Syria, because he, wait for it, might tip off the enemy. That's mental. He thinks that ensuring homeland security amounts to building a wall, kicking out undocumented families, banning and monitoring Muslims, and killing terrorist families including children. No exception. Yeah, that will definitely work. The Economist Intelligence Unit are a research firm that examine potential international disasters, and they say that Trump's militaristic tendencies towards the Middle East and ban on all Muslim travel to the US would be a potent recruitment tool for jihadi groups. And they say that him becoming the president would have a danger ranking of 12. That's the same as jihadi terrorism destabilizing the global economy. Oh, the sweet irony. At number 2 now, Donald Trump admires dictators. He's spoken time and time again of his admiration for Vladimir Putin, the leader of Russia that has overseen suppression of the free press by killing them, and has upheld brutal anti-LGBT policies that turn a blind eye to violence and discrimination against gay people. Now, in response to all of this, Trump said, Putin, he's running the country, and at least he's a leader. Furthermore, when it came to the maniac North Korean leader Kim Jong-un, Trump said, you gotta give him credit. This guy doesn't play games, because he wiped out those who opposed him within his own family. Nice to know who Trump looks up to when it comes to world leaders. And finally now at number 1, he only cares about himself. Some people go into politics with very good intentions, some people might lose sight along the way but are held accountable by those who put them there. Donald Trump is neither of them. He's been flirting with the idea of becoming president for many decades because he was born into power, fed on power, and wants more power, and president of the United States might be the most powerful position in the world. Quite simply, he will say or do anything to trick middle America into thinking he is on their side. He rants about illegal immigrants, and yet he used to employ them. He says that China has ripped off the American worker, yet he's been outsourcing his labor force to China for many years. His so-called charitable donations from the Trump Foundation have overwhelmingly come from other donors. In fact, his last notable donation was in 2008. And rest assured, if he wins the election on November 8th, all of the false and hypocritical pandering that Trump has peddled throughout the presidential campaign will blow away in the wind as he returns to his one true love above all else, Donald Trump. Well guys, that is that. I'm sure that the comment section below this video is going to be an absolute delight for me to read. I know this may have pleased some people and have angered others, but hey, it's a video about politics. That's gonna happen with this kind of stuff. All opinions are welcome though. Thanks for watching Most Amazing Top 10, and we'll see you all in the next video.